What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the RTG career mode. It's episode number 58. He's done it again. Michael Cooper, 3 straight penalty shootout victories where he scored the winning spot kick. He'll be playing in the next round of Carabao Cup. We'll have that today. We've got more games in the Champions League, aiming to improve on our fantastic winning start, and more games in the Premier League after no wins in our last 2. Difficult one to kick today's episode off. Man City away, last year's runners-up at the Etihad. Come on the Pilgrims. Ashes. Only 1 win in 3 because we beat Palace in between the Chelsea draw and the Villa loss. We're probably going to lose here back to back as we're a goal down 5. So not a great start to the season. I mean, we thrashed Norwich on the opening day, but we have really struggled for form to kick this season off. And if you want to win the quad doxy, boy, you need to do a bit better than this. King Kante agrees. Plymouth with the instant leveller. 1-1. Tough game, there's not many chances, and we've got Benfica in Lisbon on Wednesday night. That's another big one there, because we beat Atletico on match day 1. Go on, Barca, keep going. Yes! And that's a massive game. We look for 2 wins from 2 to start the Champions League phase off. But as is this, 1 win in 3. We can't afford it to be 1 win in 4. Last season, we talked about getting through the tough tests if you want to be champions, especially when you're away from home. And we did that. We passed those tests with flying colours. Wins at St James's and Old Trafford, and big wins on our way to the Championship. None was bigger than the win at the Etihad last season. It basically wrapped up the title. And to start this season off, talk about getting through a big test here. There's Nathan Wood, he's beaten Harry and Mass, and this is going to be game. Given the space, takes it all the way, wraps it up. Big test at the Etihad, and we've passed it brilliantly. 1 win in 3, putting an end to that here. Brilliant win. I have no doubt some pundits will be saying that Plymouth are getting a bit big for their boots and a little cocky targeting a quad this season. What I'm saying in response is that if you want to do something great, you've got to be a bit delusional. What a response from trailing in the first 5 minutes. Massive 3-1 win at the Etihad. However, if we are going to do that, we have to be consistently brilliant all across the board. And that means when we need to rotate the squad, like tonight away in Lisbon, we need to make sure everyone pulls their weight. Following contest, Benfica has looked for 3 straight wins in 3 different competitions. Come on, the Pilgrims. I don't know why I was so, I'm not sure what the word is here, but pessimistic, I guess, when we had the league phase draw. Because the 8 fixtures, don't get me wrong, they're not easy, but you know, I've got to remember, we're a 5-star team now. We are literally one of the best teams in England. We were the best team in England last year. And, Fernandes would love a goal here. You know that! As a Sporting boy away at Benfica. But, yeah, we're a 5-star team now. We've got elite talent in our team. Jarell Hato, Mumba's turned into one of the best fullbacks in Europe. Kante, back-to-back Golden Boot winner. Mateus Fernandes in behind him. I mean, this is an elite team. I forgot who we were for a second. It's like that lyric in HYB. What a song, by the way, with J. Cole and Central C. I move through the street 1 deep. I keep forgetting I'm J. Cole. It's like we're not Little Plymouth anymore. Like we're not Little Plymouth who are lucky to be in the Premier League and grinding out 1-1 draws away at Villa Park. No. We are. I know the irony is we just lost to Aston Villa at home, but we're literally one of Europe's big clubs now. Well, maybe not big clubs, but, you know, better teams, if you will. And certainly in the Premier League, definitely that's the case. We're not Little Plymouth. We're no longer Little Plymouth, man. We should be doing things like this. It's expected now. King Kante at the double. Plymouth 2 up. And actually it was Fernandes who got the first, so just a 1 for Kante tonight, but 4 in his first 2 Champions League games ever. Think he was nervous playing his first season in prime time? Don't look like it, does it? Looks like he's been playing this competition and dominating it for years like Cristiano Ronaldo! 3 for Plymouth right before the break. Oh, we're here and we deserve to be here. Well documented, Cristiano Ronaldo, 140 Champions League goals. Kante has 5 in 2 games. And obviously we're not going to play enough seasons for him to hit that limit, but if we were to play a few more, I think he'd run it close. Absolutely dominant start for the King. Here's Nathan Wood, who's given space. I want to get it to Kante. There we go. Is it going to be back-to-back hat-tricks? Was it ever in doubt? Was it ever in doubt? King Kante with 6 goals in 2 Champions League games. Dominating. Might Delete Later is such a great project, isn't it? Brilliant album. Cole was so good in that. The first like 5-6 songs were an amazing track run as Benfica ruined the clean sheet late. Not that it's going to matter. But yeah, Hunting Wabbits is such a fire tune. Crocodile Tears. The way that Cole raps the intro, like when he's building up to his flow on Ready 24 as well, the intro to that, when you hear what he says, you feel the confidence that. And I love it when like, you know, a rapper is totally like in the zone, you know, and you just feel the confidence exuding. And that's exactly what we did here in Lisbon as well tonight. Feeling like J. Cole, turning up, putting 4 past Benfica in 55 minutes. Might have lost a clean sheet, but made a statement away in Madrid and then in Lisbon. We are a big team certified. But as always, the big question is, can you keep it going? And can you win the big tests? And this is always a big test for us. May not be a big team in Europe, but certainly a big nemesis. Brighton, our arch rivals in the save, only ever beaten them once, but that win led us to the Carabao Cup last year. Seagulls in Devon. Come on the Pilgrims. I said this last season and I stand by it. I'd rather face Liverpool than Brighton. And not just Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, Spurs, whoever you want. Whoever you want. I know it's a psychological thing, but every time I see those blue and white stripes, I think, I ain't going to win this. I've got no chance. I can't beat them. I've beaten them once in, again, about 16, 17 attempts. My arch nemesis. I've got an international break after this. Don't particularly want to go into it on the back of a home loss. And it'll also be no wins in our last 3 in the Premier League at home park as well. Hardly a fortress. Yes! And when we take on Brighton, honestly, I will just take a point. I will just take a point in any of my fixtures against the Seagulls and call it a good result. Like I said, I'm fully aware it's a psychological thing. You know, there's nothing about the team, the setup, that should make it this difficult. But it's just, it's one of those. Everyone, we all do. All of us that play have a bogey team. All of us have a team that we can just never seem to get the better of, no matter how good our team has become. It's just a way. It's just a way. And for me, it's Brighton. So don't worry, man. If you're out there struggling against Wolves or Burnley or Southampton or whatever and thinking, why can't I beat these guys? Just remember, your Wolves or Southampton or Burnley is Doxy's Brighton. We've all got these teams. Back from the international break, and now let's get back on track on the back of that 1-1 draw. Following game, another South Coast derby, this time away from home in Dorset. Bournemouth at the Vitality. Come on, the Pilgrims. We're off to Ukraine on Wednesday night to take on Shakhtar. And that's a foul. What? What? That's like the Mike Breen double bang. I've had to say what twice to try and work out what I've just seen. How is that not a foul? That's got to be... And also, how is that lad holding up the weight of the lad behind him on the piggyback? I don't want to see the POV, eh? I want to see from a clear angle. How is that not a foul? Mumba's just been completely scythed into with no contact on the ball. That's a joke of a decision. There was no contact with the ball. He just came clean through Mumba. And the only way I can justify that as a non-call is if the EA couldn't process it as a foul because it technically wasn't supposed to be a tackle. The possession was Bournemouth's. Mumba just intercepted it. And that slide, as Jarrell is denied his first Plymouth goal, was actually supposed to be a shot. So that's the only way I can kind of... I'm not defending it. It still should have been a foul anyway, but explain why it wasn't given as a free kick, because it wasn't technically supposed to be a tackle. It was supposed to be a shot. That's the only way I can try and justify that non-call there. Regardless, Bournemouth got away with that. That was a clear foul. I'm running out of time as well. 28 minutes to go. And to be fair, I've not played well at all. I've not had a good game. Controversial goal or not, I've not played well. And ultimately, Doxy boy, you can complain about the decision if you want, but you got to complain about your own performance first, mate, because you've had a shocker. Debatable first goal or not, this has not been good enough. Turn inwards, Doxy boy. Turn inwards, son. Ultimately, everyone is going to have their fair share of bad luck. Everyone is going to have decisions go against them unfairly. Deal with it. Deal with it and be better. What a save. And Oh, what a ball. Brilliant ball. Jason Knight hits the post. Brilliant slip ball through. Fluff the finish. And ultimately, yeah, I can be annoyed about that decision. I've just not taken my chances and been good enough on the defensive end. This loss is on me. Not the first goal, it's on me. Yes, it's been a succession of missed chances in Dorset, negating the controversy of the first goal. Because whilst Kante has grabbed a consolation to add to his goal tally, it's not going to matter as we're going to run out of time. Bournemouth will hold on to the 3 points. It's our second loss of the season already. It took us 30 games before we had our first loss last year. We've already had 2 defeats in our first 7. We are not going to retain the title like this. Less complaining, less blaming, take responsibility and get back to work. Yes, fault versus responsibility. It's something I try to remind myself on the near daily. You are not at fault for everything that's happened to you, but you are responsible for the way you respond to it. And our response needs to be a win. Back-to-back games without a win. 1 point taken for a possible 6 in the Premier League and really struggling for form out of the blocks this season. But let's get our 3rd win on the trot in the Champions League. Shakhtar away in Ukraine in my favourite stadium in the game, the Donbass Arena. Come on, the Pilgrims. It's such a nice stadium, it really is. I think it's the blue, you know, the LED blue lighting. I think that's what I like about it, that gives it that kind of charm. But also, if you look at the stadium in real life as well, of course, prior to the damage that's been suffered during the war in Ukraine, the concourse that leads up to the stadium just looks like a great kind of match day experience. You know, I love those concourses. And again, this one has a really nice one. But tonight in Ukraine, oh, what a big save Agrizabala. We can't afford 3 straight games in all competitions without a win. Going for our 3rd straight in Europe though. Not a great start, still 0-0. Let's get going. Yes, if you've not won either of your last 2 games, you better notch one up next time out, because otherwise you are going to be staring down the barrel of the prospect of a long winless run. That's just how overpowered form is, as we all know. Bar, Kante, Nathan Wood! Come on! The big boys combining for a big goal. Wood with the opener. Plymouth lead. A big response in Ukraine is what was needed tonight, and a big win is what we got. We might be struggling for form domestically this season, but in the Champions League, 3 tough away days to kick the league phase off. We've won them all. 9 points from 9, off to a flyer in Europe. But whilst it's all well and good getting the wins in Europe, if we want to retain that Premier League title we won last year, we've got to kick-start this season, man. No wins in our last 2 league games, not even in the top 4 right now. Next up, Southampton coming to Devon in another South Coast derby. Come on, the Pilgrims. Yeah, this is the opposite of how I thought the start of the season was going to go. I thought in the league, after getting that taste for the Premier League title last season, would be all guns blazing and kick the season off and, you know, still unbeaten at this stage, top of the table. No. And in Europe, I thought, oh, tell you what, I'll take 1 win in our first 3 and maybe a draw as well. No. It's the other way around, as we're tied at 0-0 early doors here, but that's life, man. Sometimes it's completely unpredictable. But what is always predictable is this man getting booed by Southampton fans as he's denied early doors. Oh, Fernandez. Those Saints fans, they ain't forgot it. Oh, no. Don Ballard rolls it across, 1-0. Goodness gracious, we are absolutely stumbling to start this season off in the Premier League. And when you think about the teams that will be claiming wins against us this season too, no disrespect to them, but Southampton and Aston Villa, newly promoted teams, and Bournemouth, who haven't been very good in this save. I mean, you could understand if it was Anfield, where we're getting beaten 2-0 at home, 2-0 at half-time. You could understand if it was the Etihad, but 2 newly promoted sides and a side that have been out of form. It's not good enough. We do not win a lot of these South Coast derbies, do we? Honestly. We really struggle in these rival clashes. We might beat the rest, but we don't beat these guys. Fernandez, great ball. Kante's going to get us back in the game though. And there's plenty of time. 26 minutes, plenty of time. Still got one back against Bournemouth. Couldn't level there. And today, if anyone's going to score another, you put your money on Southampton. Don Ballard's got it. It's free. It's game. 21 to go. This is an embarrassing start to our Premier League title defence. How did we win the Championship last season, not losing any of our first 30? No idea. And after no wins in our last 3 Premier League games and back-to-back losses, I'm glad to be playing the EFL Cup. I never thought I'd be saying that. Next up, Preston away at Deepdale in the last 16 as we aim to reach the quarter-finals and keep our trophy defence season alive. Come on, the Pilgrims. Yeah, I never thought I'd be saying this, but I'm looking forward to this EFL Cup game. After just scraping through the last round on penalties. And it's Moore's going to take his free kick, try and float that towards the right. We've got a 6'6" youth player who's going to go for that. Oh yeah, perfectly done. Welcome to Plymouth. Sam Brooks, 6'6", this guy out of the academy. And he's just got his first goal in green. Needs to change those generic boots though. I've mentioned this before, but like, this never used to be a thing. Every youth player now starts off with generic boots and you have to edit the players yourself. That never used to be a thing. That didn't used to be a thing. They used to come out wearing real boots, official boots. But now, EA have made it so they always wear generic boots. And Logan for 2, please. Take time. There we go. It's one of the things which, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, I've mentioned before, but occasionally I think EA do things to make the game mode worse to try and persuade you to play it on the team. That's one of them. That's a deliberate change they've made to make the game worse. I mean, in one way I kind of like it, because now you can tell who the youth players are on your opponents based on whether they're wearing real boots or generic boots, but it's like, you know, why did you do that? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, why did you decide to change it like that? There were, you know, I don't think anyone had, can we please make sure every youth player comes out wearing generic boots on their list of feature requests from EA. So why did they do it? Well, I think we all know the answer to that. Matthews for 3. Oh, dominating at Deepdale on Wednesday night. 3-up 36 minutes in. And we might be struggling in the Premier League. With the Carabao Cup and the Champions League, no problems. Raksaki drops the shoulder, turns his man, and Matthews is on for a first half hat-trick. Okay. And this Raksaki's going to bend one and score. I just wanted to see if the keeper was going to come to me. We discussed this a couple of seasons ago, but EA, they've got to fix that. They've got to fix that. How often does the keeper just stand on his line and you can literally just tap it into the bottom corner if you want? Instead, I thought, nah, I'll score from 20. Raksaki bends it over. It was a glorious goal, but yeah, that's a fix we do want, EA. Don't worry about the youth players wearing generic boots. Just fix that. Well, Preston did grab one back late for the consolation, meaning we've only kept 1 clean sheet in, I think, 10 games in all competitions now. Really struggling defensively, but not struggling in the Carabao Cup as a whole. Through to the quarters, let's see who we got and play one more. Yeah, defensively this season, we are really, really struggling. It's not a great sign when you spend all that money on a new left back. But yeah, I think it's one clean sheet in 10? I think now it's been poor. But as we head into the last 8, fingers crossed we'll have another EFL side. It's going to be... Oh, it's not. It's Chelsea away at Stamford Bridge. Very tough to get through that tie. Yep, let's do one more. Great games today and aiming to get back to winning ways with a great display as well. Following contest, back to matters in the Premier League with no wins in our last 3 in the league. Not in the Forest away at the City Ground. Tough one to end on, but we really need 3 points here. Come on, the Pilgrims. Sure, there was a flurry of bets this morning placed on Benjamin Sesko, FGS, because he always scores against me every time I face Forest. I can't stop him. Honestly, as he's hit the bar there, and it just stayed out. I would say he's as big of a villain for me to face as Bastoni is now, based on his recent record against me. Can you imagine them together? Sesko and Bastoni at Brighton? I'd never win again. Well, listen, a goalless draw at the City Ground, as we know, is not a bad result at all. But it's not draws we need, it is wins. As things stand, set for none. Fernandes, what a ball. He's on. He timed that absolutely perfectly. None in 4. That can't happen. Ibrahim agrees. Plymouth in front with 28 to go. But that ball by Fernandes, when you talk about inch perfect, that is why we've had him all these years. Randell to Raksaki. This will do it. Final chance of the game. And this will be the dagger. It's Raksaki. It's great. Dribble in. It is over. It's a wonderful goal. And that will do it. And we needed the win today. And we pulled it out big time at the City Ground. It has been a shaky start to the season, but performances like this show we still can retain that title and keep our quest for a quad well and truly alive. But that'll do it for today's episode of the RTG Career Guide. So big thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, then please do drop a like. Much you all have a fantastic day. I'll return in the next one with match days 4 and possibly 5 in the Champions League phase. Aim to stay 100%. The Carabao quarter-final away at the Bridge against Chelsea, and more games in the Premier League aiming to build on this much needed win very soon.